Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Matters That Matter. I'm Simran and I'm in a conversation with my mentor, Susie Singh. Susie, a lot of people have been reporting that work from home during this pandemic has become really difficult for them over this extended period of time because people are not used to working in such conditions. They are getting provoked, angered, irritated very easily, and they don't know what to do about it. So, can you give us some solutions, some toolkit that people can use to deal with their anger or frustration or irritation without it taking over their lives?
Yes, Simran, you're absolutely right. I have received so many calls from people who find that the work from home is now becoming very difficult, particularly because the hours have stretched, the boundaries have blurred, it seems to be taking over their lives. And the pressure is very high, the pressure to be visible, the pressure to be seen sitting in front of their computers and keeping their videos on. So they feel like, earlier they could step out of their office, now they can't. They're
Yeah.
in their office all the time. This is obviously making them very edgy. There is also the insecurity of losing their jobs and so
Yeah.
wanting to prove that they're doing really well. And this is what is triggering off a lot of angry responses or angry experiences in them. So before I come to my fabulous 3-minute toolkit in this video, I just want to talk briefly about how we normally experience anger. So it can help our viewers to identify what they tend to do habitually, and they can arrest when it comes on and switch gears. So
Right.
most of us normally just react to anger.
Hmm.
We are unable to respond because we haven't trained ourselves to develop emotional resilience. What is a reaction? A reaction is an automated, habitual response to anything.
Hmm.
It is in the nature of being reactive,
Right.
whereas an active response is a chosen, mindful, conscious behavior that you can direct. So you can see that most of us, when we are angry, we feel provoked, and suddenly,
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
it's something happens. Now, what
Hmm.
is that something that happens? And I'm going to talk about the hierarchy of reactions that all of us experience. And each one of us experiences it differently depending on our personality makeup. So going from the most harmful
Hmm.
reaction to the least
Hmm.
harmful, the first is that we're angry, we are provoked, we think something is really unfair, and we are going to act out our anger and say all of those terrible things in that moment, which are in our heart. They just
Yeah.
come out like
Yeah.
garbage, and we're going to regret them later. So that's acting out your anger. And it's really harmful because, to start with, it's going to affect your own physiology. It's going to affect the relationship negatively. There may be some penalties that you'll have to pay for that outburst. And it's going to destroy the ecosystem around you. The second reaction is that we could repress the anger. Now,
Yeah.
repression means that I don't even realize, I'm not conscious that I'm angry, and my
Hmm.
habitual response is to just bottle it up. This is dangerous for people because it simmers under the surface and it slowly eats away at them. And over a period of time, these people have a tendency to become enraged over some things, because rage is the combination of anger and helplessness. And because they're
Hmm.
not even aware of it, it just takes over at some points in time during their lives.
Right.
They can become out of control.
Hmm.
The third reaction is suppression. Suppression is, you have the awareness that I'm angry, or I'm feeling angry about this situation. This is really not fair, but
Yeah.
you also bottle it up. The fourth response to anger is that you are just going to misdirect the anger and project it to somebody else. So it's possible that you've had this really difficult conversation with your boss, or you've been called out in a meeting in your work from home, and you walk out of that room to get yourself a cup of tea and you just shout at your partner or your child because the anger that you felt at your boss is now being misdirected and projected at your family members.
Yeah.
So that is projection. There is another form that you could actually turn the anger inwards at your own self and beat yourself up saying, listen, how the hell do I get myself into this situation repeatedly? And how can I be so dumb? And why do I keep doing this all the time?
Yeah.
So it's important for viewers to figure out which one of these various habitual reactions they find themselves in. And the minute they're getting into the situation, if they can see it happening, then they can nip it in the bud. What do we do when we are angry? How do we deal with it? Before everything else, the one standard principle is just stop the narrative in your head, because there's going to be this terrible story about how so-and-so said this, it was wrong, how could they do this is not right. And so ruminating about it is the first thing that you need to seize. Stop that immediately. Having done that, you have two methods. One method is for those people who are committed to developing a practice of emotional resilience and who are seriously wanting to work with their emotional landscape. That method is called processing your emotions, and it helps you to neutralize your emotion and gain mastery over your emotions. Now, we have spoken about this in another video, and for those of you who are really interested in embracing this as a practice, please watch the video on how to process your emotions. That, however, requires more commitment. I am going to talk about something that's quick and easy. It's my 3-minute method, or less than 3 minutes. You can go from feeling awful to feeling awesome. Now, how do you do that? What I have in my toolkit is a simple solution called sing a song. A lot of you might smile at that and wonder, just like Simran is smiling, and wonder, listen, how can singing a song solve this problem? Well, I've dug into the research, and what I found is that scientists have seen that the musical vibrations that flow through you when you sing a song change your brain. They make you feel much better. They make you think much better. Secondly, what happens is when you sing, you're engaging diaphragmatic breathing. That oxygenates your brain, and therefore it clears the brain fog. Singing also engages both the hemispheres of your brain, the right brain and the left brain, because singing involves pitch, intonation, lyric, melody, and so both the brains get activated and they start speaking to each other. This gives you a whole brain experience, which is really the most powerful way to use your brain. So as you can see that we have the neurochemistry of the brain is affected when you sing, and it helps you go from feeling terrible about something. It rewires you into feeling much, much better. And there are two more reasons for that. One is singing engages the reward center of your brain. So you start feeling more pleasure. And simultaneously, it also brings down or reduces the cortisol.
Right.
So from a hormonal perspective, also we can see that it is extremely useful to engage in the simple activity. You don't need to be a good singer to engage in these benefits. You could be an ordinary bathroom singer, and you don't need to know a great song either. You know, if you think, oh, I've never sung a song in my life, I don't know what to sing, sing the national anthem. We all know it. All that we require is the melody, and singing is going to engage in change and shift the breathing anyway.
Yeah.
So the next time that you're feeling angry or provoked by your boss or by a colleague or something that happens in your workspace, I'm suggesting just take a 3-minute or a less than 3-minute break. Get up and sing your heart out. I would recommend you sing a number by Billy Joel called Honesty. It's powerful, it's power-packed, it gets all your emotions out. And maybe you can, learn it on a karaoke app and go sing along. It really releases everything that's pent up inside. You're going to go back feeling absolutely new after that experience because you have altered your brain. You altered the chemistry in your body, in your physiology is going to be singing and happy, not weary and tired or exhausted. And you're going to be thinking more clearly too. So that's my magic 3-minute solution. And Simran, the interesting thing is I have experimented with this over the last month. I have really worked actively and I have seen the shift. I'm using the oximeter and I find that my oxygenation levels are higher. I'm at a 99%, and that's really great. I can see literally how it shifts my physiology. So if people ask me, how long should we sing? Just sing and you'll notice. You can stop singing when you see the altered feelings in your body. You're going to start feeling much lighter. Your brain clears up. You're thinking more clear. That's the time to go back renewed to your desk, to your work from home space, and feel brand new again.
Those who are looking for a quick fix, I think this tip is so helpful for them. Thank you so much, Susie, for that very wonderful, short little tip for our viewers. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.